Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and this is going to be the first video where we get into managing packages and a great way to create environments. So if you're not familiar with Conda, Conda has its own package registry that you can hit and install binaries that normally aren't in other PIP packages. If you're not familiar with those terms, don't worry about it. We're going to dive right into it. So there's a few things that you'll have to keep note. One, the environment that you're running your code in will need to be set in whatever IDE you're using. So in my case, I'm going to use VSCode today. And then you also need to have access to the command line to use the Conda interface. I will say as well, this is available on Windows, Mac, and Linux, so it's not too crazy. If you have any problems with installing, they have really good documentation on how to get it installed, and it's a really easy way for you to address dependencies and whatnot. So let's get right into it. All right, so the first thing to do is to recognize that I have a little bit of a yellow squiggle here. So I'm using the NumPy package, which if you know anything about NumPy, it's matrices mathematics, and it deals with large data and vectorized data. So what we want to do is to get that package to work. I'm going to need to pip install it, but what if I don't want to install it to my machine where it's used all the time in every project? And it can get a little hefty when you start pip installing various things onto your machine, and then you want to uninstall them later. Well, that's what Conda is here for. So once you have Conda installed on your machine, what you can do in the terminal is Conda create-n, and then let's create a, we'll call it array test. We're going to create an environment called array test, and then we're going to set the Python version to 3.11. And what we'll do is let that install. It's going to take a hot minute to get all the dependencies and whatnot. So there might be some times here and there when I'm doing pip installs or Conda installs, and I'll be dropping out for a second and skipping to when it's all over. But I'll definitely go ahead and let this run, and I'll get back to you. All right, so it just finished installing. So now we have a command that says to use. If we want to activate the environment, we're going to need to do conda activate array-test. All right, so now we have the environment activated. You can see it at the bottom here. And then in my VSCode, what I'm going to want to do is to select my interpreter. This is a VSCode thing, but remember you need to set it in your IDE. So here's array test, it's 3.11, and if I set this, it's going to take a minute for everything to get set up on it. Now we are in the environment, we are set to the environment on our IDE. So now what I want to do is to conda install NumPy, and you could probably just do conda install NumPy. Not all packages that are available on PyPy or via pip install are available, so it is the case that it may not be here, but it is. So we have NumPy here, and it has all the dependencies here. So all we have to do is say yes, and that's one of the cool things about Conda is that the installs are a little bit faster normally. It's not always the case, but it's pretty fast overall. What you may have noticed while I was talking was that the squiggle went away for the numpy right here. So if I go ahead and I run this code and I do Python main py, what should happen is we get our array back with the mean of the array based off of our code here. So That's Conda in a very simple scenario. Um, I will say as well that you can pip install different packages into this environment. So as long as this environment is activated, and you can tell from the left side here, I can still get NumPy, but it probably will say something like requirement, yeah, requirement's already satisfied. So you can pip install things into your environments and uh, manage different environments at different times. I have another environment called ML, which I use for machine learning tasks. So there are tons of environments that you can make and customize and set up. You also can blow them away by running different commands, but this is Conda. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Now I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care now.